Hello, this video shows how to pick any MIDI groove in the superior drummer MIDI pattern browser and copy that file over into the Dorico music notation software, obtaining correct drum set staff notation and audio playback. Watch the detailed setup and use this approach to create a drum track for your MIDI score mockup, maintaining the feel and dynamics from the original drum groove patterns. In the past, I failed to find a working solution for grabbing a MIDI groove pattern in the superior drummer browser and copy that over into the Dorico music notation software, obtaining correct staff notation and audio playback. Recently, I returned to this problem and found the correct procedure, here presented as a two-step process. You'll see the preparation phase setup details and then the utilization in a brief score example. You may support this YouTube channel by either subscribing or by making a PayPal donation on my website. First, there's the preparation phase, the detailed setup in both Toontrack Superior Drummer 3 and the Dorico music notation software. This diagram will guide you through the process. Let's start with the Superior Drummer setup. Go to the Drums tab and select the drum kit, here the Ludwig Concert default. Then inspect the instrument list for this drum kit. Notice the number of toms and cymbals you will later need in the score notation setup. In the Show menu, top right, open the MIDI mapping keys display. Take a screenshot of this list or print, as you will need to know the combinations of MIDI note number and instrument articulation to achieve correct Dorico playback. Alternatively, use a PDF document that has the same list. Toontrack provides this information for a number of drum kits. We move over to the Dorico side of things with a more complex setup. This consists of 4 elements, starting with the drum kit setup. Go to the setup mode and select the player with the drum set instrument. From the dots menu, select the Edit Percussion Kit item. This window opens. Start adding drum kit instruments from the Dorico collection. Put them at the correct staff position and make the number of kit instruments match the superior drummer list. Then for each instrument, here the snare drum example, start editing playing techniques. Add custom drum playing techniques by clicking the plus sign and select the note head set. For each new technique, create a link to a playback technique, selecting an item from the Dorico list. The number of playing techniques in this window is dictated by the articulation set you found in the Superior Drummer MIDI mapping overview. This will take time and focused effort. When done, export this kit to disk for reuse in later projects and as a backup. When you visit the Steinberg Dorico forum and read the numerous discussion threads on the difference between playing and playback techniques, there obviously is a lot of confusion for a new user. The percussion kit from the previous section contains the music notation elements that you'll find on the staff. The playing techniques library has the additional notational elements that you put above or below the staff. From the library menu, open the Edit Playing Techniques window. Select the category of unpatched instruments. For each element in the list shown on the left, there's an attribute set shown on the right, where the most relevant for now is the link to the playback technique, an aspect we'll discuss in a moment. This is an N-to-1 mapping. Multiple playing techniques may trigger the same playback technique. When needed for drum kit notation, create additional user-defined playing techniques, notated as text strings or glyph symbols outside the staff. The set of playback techniques is relevant for score audio rendering. From the library menu, open the Edit Playback Techniques. This is the list in the Techniques category. These are not exclusively for drum and percussion instruments. Each technique has attributes shown on the right, and you may create additional playback techniques. The final setup aspect is the creation of the Dorico Percussion Map. This is the most tricky element as it requires absolute accuracy. This map provides the link between notation and drum sample library playback. From the library menu, open the Percussion Map window. On the left is the list of percussion maps available in the current Dorico project. And in the preparation phase, I created the Superior Drummer 3 core map. The name of the map may be freely chosen. I use 3 character labels for the library, here TSG, which stands for Toontrack Superior Drummer, and then a more descriptive string. And here's the tricky bit, filling in the rows from the Drum Kit node map table. Each row consists of 6 columns where a subset of 4 fields needs data entry for correct drum articulation playback. Enter the parameter values in the data fields at the bottom. For completing this task, you will use the Superior Drummer MIDI map, the Dorico Percussion Kit definition, and the playback techniques list discussed earlier. Let's look at the row with MIDI node number 38. Which corresponds to note name D2. The Superior Drummer MIDI map tells us that this is a snare drum with articulation center stick. I copy that name into the 3rd column for easy reference. The name in this field is not relevant for playback. Now go to the Dorico Percussion Kit definition and check the instrument name there. It is the snare drum, so select that name from the instrument list options as the column value. In the diagram at the bottom, I've marked the data flow from Superior Drummer to the Dorico Percussion Map. In the last column, we select the appropriate playback technique from the available list. Remember that the playback techniques list was filled from either the Percussion Kit note head set, that is, the elements in the staff, or from the unpatched percussion category of playing techniques, the elements above or below the staff. The PBT list consists of Dorico factory entries plus user-defined techniques. When Dorico finds the unique combination of instrument and playback technique in the percussion map, the corresponding MIDI note-on message will be triggered, and we should hear the right articulation sample in Superior Drummer. Like the percussion kit, we may save this percussion map to disk for reuse in future projects. That completes the setup steps in the preparation phase. Now we move to the more convenient and straightforward phase, the setup utilization. Another diagram illustrates this process, where we start with MIDI file export from Superior Drummer, then import this drum groove into Dorico and verify correct audio playback. Most Superior Drummer users will have accumulated thousands of MIDI groove patterns, buying expansions from the product catalog in the Toontrack webshop. We will want to use these in a Dorico score, maintaining the drummer dynamics and timing. Let's introduce the example, a Dorico score with a simple 8-bar phrase, where a bass guitar and an electric piano play a relaxed medium-tempo soul-funk idiom. For added interest, there's a 5-piece horn section. We are looking for an appropriate drum groove. So the journey usually starts in the Groove tab, browsing through this collection. Note that the pattern plays at the source tempo. Drag a potential candidate to the song track at the bottom. On this track you may create a full multiple section song with different items from the Groove library. My example is limited to a single pattern, positioned at measure 1. When follow host is activated, the pattern will play along with the Dorico score at the intended tempo. Drag all drum kit elements to the song track or pick a subset from the groove parts list top right. In case you would like to modify the groove, open the MIDI drum pattern in the grid editor. When ready, mute the patterns. Go to the Track tab and select Export Song as MIDI file. Then save this pattern to disk with a suitable file name. This MIDI file will be imported into the Dorico score. We return to the example, the score without the drums. In the Dorico software, select the menu item File, Import, MIDI. and find the MIDI file on disk. This will lead us to the MIDI import options window. Select the Advanced Editor mode and check the following settings. Make sure the drum set from the Setup Mode player list appears in the Instruments in Track field. You may have to add this instrument in the track settings. From the list of percussion maps, select the Superior Drummer map in the track settings list. Then go to the Quantize options at the bottom and check or modify the settings. Click OK. The MIDI import will show up as a new flow in the Setup Mode window. You may want to inspect the drum groove notation. Note that in my percussion kit setup, I chose a non-standard note head for the kick drum open sound. The regular black note head would have been more appropriate. Before auditioning the imported file, check the drum playback setting in the play mode. In the Track Inspector tab, the playback should be routed to the Superior Drummer VST, using the companion percussion map. You probably will already have set up all instruments for playback when creating the score. For my example, I loaded third-party instrument plugins and effects. For simplicity, I also used the Dorico mixer, shown at the bottom. So let's audition the drum groove import, still at the original 120 beats per minute setting from Superior Drummer. The final step is to go to the Dorico write mode, select all notation elements in the second flow and copy these into the score in flow number 1. The result is shown here. Listen to the result, with the drum groove now at a slower sound tempo. A serious warning is appropriate here though. This notated part should never ever be printed and used as drummer sheet music. It is too busy and confusing for easy reading. You must edit, reduce or create a new drummer part, using simpler notation with clear instructions. In my example as is, I should have edited the drummer part to support the horn section accents and the other rhythm instrument syncopations. Use this approach therefore only for convenient creation of realistic sounding mockups. Let's summarize this video tutorial. Our goal was to be able to take any MIDI groove from Superior Drummer, import that file into Dorico and have correct staff notation and audio playback. I showed the two-stage process, starting with the preparation, the setup of various elements in the drummer and the music notation software. This is a fairly complex and intricate operation that requires focused parameter setting. This is followed by the more rewarding and easier utilization phase, which basically is only an export-import operation after auditioning suitable drum grooves. I tested this approach on both Mac and PC. Besides, the setup is similar for other drum virtual instruments and sample libraries, such as the Native Instruments Drummer series. Hopefully this video helps with your setup. You may support my YouTube channel visibility by liking the video and please subscribe. The tutorial set in the various playlists keeps growing. I do welcome support for video tutorial production. The links in the description points to the PayPal donation button on the website. There you will also find more content and a collection of ebooks. Thanks for watching.